I was just looking through some random scary stories, and this one come up, and it's an urban legends and it's from the Babysitter and the Man Upstairs, right? And it was a married couple, and they were going out for the evening, and they called a teenage babysitter, right? And to take care of their 3 children. When she arrived, they told her they probably won't be back till late. And then the kids were already asleep, so she didn't need to disturb them. The babysitter started doing her homework while waiting a call from her boyfriend. After a while, the phone rings. She answers it, but hears no one on the other end, just silence. Then whoever it is hangs up. After a few more minutes, the phone rings again. She answers it, and this time there's a man on the line who says, in a chilling voice, "Have you checked the children?" And at first she thinks it might have been the father, just to check up on her, but she decided to ignore the call. She goes back to her homework, then the phone rings again. "Have you checked the children?" says the creepy voice on the other end. "Mr. Murphy," she asked, but the caller hangs up again. So she decides to phone the restaurant that the parents were staying, will be dining, but she asked for Mr. Murphy, and they told her he and his wife left the restaurant 45 minutes earlier. So she calls the police to report that a stranger had been calling her and hanging up. They asked her, "Has he threatened you?" The dispatcher asks, "No," she says, and then they reply saying, "Well, there's nothing really we can do about it. You could try reporting the prank caller to the company." A few minutes go by, and she gets another call. "Why haven't you checked the children?" the voice says. "Who is this?" she asks, but she hangs up again. She dials 911 again and says, "I'm scared. I know he's out there. He's watching me." And they ask her, "Have you seen him?" The dispatcher asks, they asked her, yeah. She says no. "Well, there isn't much we can do about it," the dispatcher says. The babysitter goes to panic mode and pleads with him to help her. Now, it'll be okay," he says. "Give me your number and the street address, and if you can keep this guy on the phone for at least 1 minute, we'll try and trace the call." What was your name again?" "Linda." "Okay, Linda, if he calls back, we'll do our best to trace the call. But you just keep calm. Can you do that for me?" "Yes," she says, and hangs up. She decides to turn down the lights so she can see if anyone's outside. And then when she gets another call, "It's me," the familiar voice says. "Why did you turn the lights down?" "Can you see me?" she asks panically. "Yes," he says after a long pause. "Look, you've scared me," she says. "I'm shaking. Are you happy? Is that what you wanted?" "No." "What do you want?" she asks. Another long pause. "Your blood all over me." She slams down the phone, terrified. Almost immediately, it rings again. "Leave me alone," she screams, but the dispatcher calls back. His voice is urgent. "Linda, we've traced the call. I'm coming from another room. It's coming from another room in the house. Get out of there now." She tears to the front door, attempting to unlock it, the dash outside, only to find the chain at the top still latched. Is it time it takes to unlock it? She sees a door open at the top of the stairs. Light seems from the children's bedroom, revealing the profile of the man standing just there. Just finally gets the door open and bursts outside, only to find a cop standing at the doorstep with his gun drawn. At this point, she's safe, of course, but when they capture the intruder and drag him downstairs in handcuffs, she sees he covered in blood. Come to find out, all the 3 children had been murdered. So it was done in the 1960s, by the way. So it says a teenager had been scaring each other silly. It was this urban legend since the late 1960s. People say nowadays are probably more familiar with it as a plot of the horror film When a Stranger Calls, but there's a remake or something, but that's basically the scary story that I've been told. And I never want to babysit on my own. That's terrifying. To me, it was scary to think, well, if that ever happened to me, I'd be really getting out of the house, so I'd get the kids out of the bedroom. But obviously she didn't want to go to the bedroom, did she? She's like, have you checked the children? Should check the children straight away. But we didn't. She stayed downstairs doing her homework and didn't care who was ringing her. But then she started to get creeped out. Whoa. If I'd ever get a prank call at least 3 times, well, 2 times I'd think, whoa, something's going on. But have you checked the children? Scary. But bye guys.